Kalen DeBoer just got a big-time extension. My first reaction was, what for? But that was before I taped the segment you heard earlier with Isaiah Hole of Locked On Wolverines. And look, I knew there was speculation, rumor, interest from Michigan's side about Kalen DeBoer. He'd shut all of it down publicly. Seems it got a little bit further along than that. So the reason that Kalen DeBoer just got extended is because Michigan was trying to hire him. So this has a little positive externality for Michigan. Number one, I might rather have Kyle Whittingham as my coach right now. Number two, a program you're trying to win a national championship against, albeit in another league, is now really locked in to a guy that so far has done fine but not great, given the job that he has. So Kalen DeBoer has signed a 7-year extension, that's a lot, for $12.5 million a year. That's also a lot. The last time Kalen DeBoer coached a football game, he lost 38-3. And he got an extension because he won a first-round playoff game against, wait for it, a team he had already played that season. It doubles his buyout if he leaves the Crimson Tide within the next 3 years. So obviously this was a reaction to what happened during the Michigan situation. And that's not the spot you want to be in if you were Alabama. This was in no way on my mind after DeBoer stayed. And look, maybe it's just the timing of it. If this had happened in the immediate aftermath of Michigan making a run at Kalen DeBoer to be their head coach, it might have made more sense. You know, the last time that this situation came about, the shoe was on the other foot. And Alabama was potentially considering Mike Norvell, though the interest might have been more from Norvell's camp than Alabama's, but certainly I'm sure he was on a short list somewhere for the Alabama administration. And then he got locked down. How does that feel right now? Not good. I talked about Florida State yesterday on the show. Go check it out if you haven't already. Segment 3. Ashton Daniels is their starting quarterback. It's not going well. Kalen DeBoer is a better coach than Mike Norvell. And I think he is more set up for success at Alabama than Norvell currently is at Florida State. That's absolutely true. The parallel I'm drawing between those two is the move to extend the coach is coming a little bit more out of fear or desperation than mutual desire. When a coach wins a national championship, Ryan Day at Ohio State being a good example, he typically gets a ginormous contract extension and raise. Why? Because you're really getting paid for what you have actually done. Everybody wants that. You want to feel like he wants to go nowhere else. You want to feel like you have rewarded him for what he has done on the field. He wants to feel like he's being rewarded and committed to. But what has Kalen DeBoer done just as a whole at Alabama to warrant a massive extension and salary raise? My answer is absolutely nothing. He got better from year 1 to year 2. That should be a baseline expectation when you had a flop of a first season going 9-4. Like, of course you got better. You're Alabama. The standard is not just make the playoff, not just win a game. And look, there would have been no shame from my vantage point if you lose to Indiana. There is absolutely something that you got to just take it in the chest, Happy Gilmore style, when it looks the way that it did. I mean, Alabama was routed in 2 of its last 3 games when it played the conference champions from the top 2 leagues in the sport. Once it went up against the highest, again, they were a good team last year. They certainly weren't great. Don't forget, they lost to the aforementioned Florida State Seminoles, who missed a bowl game. Playing in the ACC. Everyone loves the dog on the ACC. It's so terrible. It's so bad. The SEC runner-up lost to an ACC team that did not make a bowl game. So I didn't think that this was warranted from that standpoint. The Michigan angle makes it make more sense, but I don't think that's a spot you want to be in. And in the modern age of college football, there's plenty of discussion out there, understandably so, about the shadowy figures behind the scenes that pull strings and are influencing stuff, whether that's administratively to govern the sport and make rule changes, or whether that's in the NIL and transfer portal space. Agents have been poking their head out from behind the curtain for a while, but just from behind the curtain. And this is the latest example of agents just running circles around athletic departments. They've been doing this for a long time. And I also wanted to mention Ty Simpson, because there was reported on 3 that he was offered, I think it was on 3, $6.5 million to go to Miami. He said that, somebody said that somewhere. And I saw that and went, that's crazy. Does that mean Darian Mintz is getting that? No, he's probably in the 5 to 6 range, because Ty Simpson had played in the SEC and Mensa had played in the ACC, but Mensa was wildly productive, and I think he will be great in that Shannon Dawson offense. There's a lot of Cam Ward to Darian Mensa's game. But what I thought about when both of these things happen, and the similarity between the two, is one platitude that gets uttered a lot in the college football space is, well, this is not sustainable. The money is out of control. The money is not going to stop going up. It never has in the NFL. What has made you think, or what would lead you to believe, if you're someone that thinks, well, eventually this will settle down? I'll admit, I used to be in this camp. I absolutely was. I thought, no, I mean, the money's just crazy. I mean, the ROI is not very good. Guys are going to pull. Someone somewhere is willing to drive the market up. And an NFL quarterback costing $40 million just 10 years ago was close to the top of the market. Now, that's a reasonable asking price for a good quarterback in the league. And the NFL and college football are different. Yep, of course, that's obviously true. Guess what? They're playing the same sport, and I don't believe that we have maxed out the number of people that will tune into college football. I don't think we're done collectively growing the sport. This podcast is free and available wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. It's one of many out there. We have a few at this network, and we reach new people all the time, and it's great. But the age of mass media is bringing more people into the sport. Television numbers aren't going down, not for college football. And look, as critical as you would like to be, and my everydayers know I certainly am, of certain rule changes that are coming about in the sport, or that might come about. I think a 2014 playoff is a horrifically bad idea. You will never hear me say this is going to kill the sport. No, it will change it, whatever it might be. 2014 playoff, NIL changes 5 for 5. It will change it. It might make it better. It might make it worse. I might not know what it's going to do to the sport. But there is no way that the money is going to just stop coming in. Someone's going to see an opportunity. As long as there are no restrictions, and the courts have said pretty consistently that there can't be, the money's going to keep going up. So Darian Mensa is top of the transfer portal quarterback market, and probably the entire NIL market, at, let's just say it's $5.5 million. I've been told it's somewhere in the 5 to 6 range. We'll just settle at 5.5. DeMond Williams at Washington was offered a near top of the market price. It was around $4 million is what I was told. One day, that's going to be a lower tier quarterback offer, not two guys that are capable of playing at the biggest schools and in the biggest games in college football. $6.5 million. Ty Simpson is darn good. That sounds crazy and insane. Yeah, right now it does. Right now, there was a first $50 million quarterback in the NFL. He wasn't the last. I think, was Mahomes the first? Was Jalen Hurts the first? I don't remember exactly. Whoever it was, he was not the first. He will not be the last. So, 5, 6, 7. Tell me you think it's insane, or where you think the ceiling is if you really think that this stuff is going to slow down. So if you're in the camp, and I admit that I used to be that, no, eventually that money, it's not, ROI is not going to be it. Nope. It's just going up, up, up. Coaches, quarterbacks, everything in between. So that's where we wrap today's show. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. Until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.